Good morning. I'm News Director Jenna Clay, and joining us for today's People and Perspectives are Lieutenant Art White with the Millersville University Police Department and Deb Stevens, the Vice President of Operations for the Lancaster County Toys for Tots. So good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
And this is very exciting because Toys for Tots is well underway. I mean, I didn't really realize what time of year it was because I've kind of, the past couple years maybe have just decided they didn't happen. So when I found out it's time for this, it kind of was a surprise, which I think a lot of people are feeling. So tell us what's going on with Toys for Tots right now.
You want to start?
Well, exactly what you said. It is that time of year again. I just can't believe I just feel like we just did this last year. So we're kicking off the Toys for Tots for Lancaster County. As you know, as last year, 2020, with COVID, it was very difficult. A lot of business were shut down. A lot of donations were a little light. So what happens is last year, even though the COVID, we actually helped about 17,836 needy children last year. So which was awesome. And it was actually more than we did last year. And we're predicting this year, we're going to do more.
Wow. So 2020 didn't really slow you down?
Not as the children and what needed toys and that. No, we made up for that because a lot of the business were shut down. Like I said, we made up for that by having car shows. We actually linked up with Cars for Coffee and had car shows throughout the year to help get more toys and donations.
That's really smart because you did. A lot of people had to come up with alternative ways to function during the year. So, I mean, congrats. I was not expecting that from you. I was expecting you to say, things were down and we need to get back to it. So I'm very happy to hear that. So what do you have in store for this year to drum up some business and some donations?
So for donations and that, what we'll be doing is having a lot of boxes out with some businesses that are been helping us the past couple of years. We're also having the police department helping us. If you want to tell about the police department.
Sure. So I've been involved with Toys for Tots for a little over 10 years, maybe 12 years now. And when I first got involved with Toys for Tots, some officers would meet together and go out and take boxes all over the county and help with getting the boxes out to the businesses so that the donations can come in. There was a chief that was in charge of contacting the police officers at that time. And when he retired, they asked me to take over as the point of contact for the police officers. So when I took over, I decided, maybe we can reach out to more police departments and more officers and do a community service type of thing. And I started contacting the chiefs of police of each department in the county. And they agreed that it would be a good idea. So what the police officers do is I normally bring the boxes to the police departments, and within their jurisdictions, the officers would take the boxes out to the businesses or the stores. And then the officers will check on that on a weekly basis as a community service, meeting the people in the stores, meeting the owners. Most times as cops, we only go to a business or a certain store when they have an incident that's negative. And we want to put a more positive light out on the interactions with police officers. So I want to say the past probably 7 years, maybe, the police have been doing that. And I have almost every police department in Lancaster County. For example, I went to 20 police departments on Sunday, dropping off boxes, all of Lancaster County, from Coreyville, all the way up to New Holland, all the way over to Columbia, and all the way down to Christiana. So we have about 98% of the county covered right now with the departments that are participating. And the chiefs are having their officers go out, put the boxes out, check on the boxes on a weekly, and then when it's time to collect the toys, go out and collect the toys and bring the toys back so we can give it to the donation center.
And I know officers can be, little stone faced and act like they're very, hardcore, but I know they have soft centers, just like you. I know you have a little soft center. So I can imagine that their reaction. I can imagine their reaction to helping out is, pretty fun to see. Well, how would you describe it?
Yes, very. Sometimes we have Ollie's. That's a business that the officers will, several departments will get together and we go Santa shopping, for example. So the officers will wear the hats or come in and interact with the people that's coming in. It's funny, one of the last times that we did it, the person thought something was going down with the store. They're like, what's going on? We're like, no, we're just picking up toys. They're like, oh, great. So the reactions that you get from people, normally they see a bunch of police department and cops in somewhere that like, you know, and then to find out what we're actually doing is very wonderful to see the smiles on people's faces. And there's been a couple of times people actually bought toys to just throw in to help us with it.
That's so nice. What about the businesses? How do they react to being a part of all of this?
Businesses, they really love volunteering and helping out, putting boxes. You know, some places, you know, they can't have a box, so they'll put a donation jar so people can put money in. Just to have the thought to give back to the community, because always questions we always get is this local? And it absolutely is. We handle the whole Lancaster County area, you know, and, you know, businesses, you know, they look forward. I always tell them, please, 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 you know, when you guys are donating, because a lot of employees are putting toys in, take a picture of your employees around. You know, we have a Facebook page for Toys for Tots, and I like to post it, you know, and they're so excited. They go out, they get money saved, they go shop, and they said, we love to shop for kids, you know, it makes them feel like a little kid again. And it's just exciting to hear how the community just comes together. I think that's awesome. And we need that, especially right now.
Absolutely. Well, how do more businesses get involved?
They actually can go onto our Toys for Tots site, which is the lancaster-pa.toysfortots.org. And they can actually go on there if they like to have a box or like to donate toys. They can send us an email in that site. But it's very critical that they make sure they pick the Lancaster County section, because there is multiple Toys for Tots throughout the United States.
Does every county in our area have a Toys for Tots, or are some combined, or do you know about that?
So yeah, so we have Lancaster County, and then there's York County, there's Berks, there's Dauphin County. So there is several Toys for Tots throughout the whole area.
And is there a main website where, you know, other areas can go to get more information or to sign up?
If they just go for the toysfortots.org, they can actually go to a place where it says to donate a toy. And then what happens, there's drop down boxes to find your location.
Have you ever been involved when they actually deliver some of these toys to the kids?
I don't go back that far behind. I mean, you know, it started back in 1987 with Scott Major of Lancaster County. And what he did, he delivered the toys out of the trunk of his car. And then when Gil Bixler picked over, it started to grow like massive to where we are now. And, you know, delivering boxes, if there's people that can't make it. I know last year during COVID, we did a lot of driving to people's homes and dropping off boxes on the sidewalk, you know, to them to keep our distance. So, you know, we'll do whatever we can, you know, throughout the year too, because you have to understand, you know, we deal with the police force, but we also deal with the fire companies. If there's a family, an ambulance, and if there's a family that has children and, you know, they lost their home due to something or tragic, we will donate toys from 0 up to 12 for that family. So it's not just during the Christmas time we donate to people and help out. We actually do it throughout the year.
That's interesting, because I think people only think of it at this time of year. In fact, I guess I didn't even know that you did it year round. So are there other ways you get the message out other times of the year?
You know, just word of mouth. I mean, like I said, now we have a Toys for Tots site for our Facebook, so people can go on to Facebook if they have that and, you know, like it and follow us. We have a lot of events that are coming up. Just recently, I know on October 29th, we have Toys for Tots at Manheim Central football game. We're going to have a site out there. I know November 14th, we have an event at Stoner's Grill. It's the 7th annual Toys for Tots benefit, where we have 5 bands that come out and play. Then November 20th, we have a Toys for Tots coming up for Dutch Wonderland. And then December 4th, we have a Toys for Tots at the Ephrata American Legion. And then we have a Toys for Tots at Comfort Inn in Denver, December 8th. So we have a lot of events coming up that, you know, businesses and community are coming together and having events to help us to be successful this year.
And are there certain types of toys that are better than others, or do you just take whatever people will bring?
You know, we're not picky. We'll take whatever we can get. Just have to be unwrapped, brand new toy from 0 up to 12, boys and girls.
Yep.
What's it like for you both personally to be involved in an operation like this?
Oh, That's like, I'm tired of
I'm like,
talking.
let
Give
me
me a
think
break.
about that.
Give me a break. Let the cop be on point first. They're quick for thinking. Well, when I was young, I was raised and we were not the wealthiest people, so we didn't have a lot of toys. And to help, get the toys out to kids that are in need and families that are in need today, it brings me joy to help that out. So much of my job is a negative end, dealing with the bad end of society and whatnot. I like to balance it out with trying to do positive things to, help promote people and everything. So with me, it brings me joy when I could, bring the toys around or back to the way we do it currently is we have a warehouse that's a distribution center. So we bring all the toys back there, and then on certain dates, families can come. It's centralized. It's at Park City Mall inside the Sears old automotive center. And Deb will have the dates for you, but you can come there and pick. You have to register online, and then you can pick your toys out from there. So that's a current way of that we get to a lot of people versus having everybody go out to different houses and stuff. But we still do that also, as Deb said, in need. But yeah, it brings me joy to help people out and to see the smiles on the kids' faces and the parents that's getting helped out.
Now, as for me, like Art was saying, the joy of doing that, helping the children and the families in the Lancaster County, it goes a long way. I mean, you have to volunteer like during our distribution week just to see what it's like. You have people come up to you and tell you that they live out of their car or they're at a shelter, and they cry and they say, thank you for everything you do. I still get emotional about it because it's like the greatest thing we can do. If I could do it full time, I would, but I have a full-time job, but my job is very good to me and let me do this volunteer. And Toys for Tots is one of my heart and soul. I put everything I can for the organization. But again, when you see the parents, you see that, hearing about how it went on Christmas, and they send me pictures to my cell, or they'll take a picture and send it to my address and then say, hey, just because of you, what you guys did, this is how our Christmas was. So that brings great joy to us.
Are there any stories like that stick out in your mind that are particularly heartwarming? Or, I mean, I'm sure they're all heartwarming, but any that kind of stick out to you?
That's a hard question and an answer for me to do because I get so many. I mean, I think the most one was recent was, during COVID, the husband was very sick. The wife didn't have her job. They would let go people. So of course, like everybody else, they were on unemployment. They had about 7 kids, and they couldn't make their time frame where they needed to go to get their toys. And my husband and I actually drove to, talk to them several times on the phone, and we drove to their house and we brought a box of toys and that. And I will never forget it because I was double parked on Prince Street, and my husband got out of the car and got the box out, and there was nowhere to park. So my husband got out, brought the box to the gentleman, and he started crying and gave my husband a hug. And my husband's not an emotional person, but he said it really got to him. And then the next day, the guy and the wife called us. And like I said, they sent us a card thanking us so much. So that's just one out of thousands that I could probably tell you.
That's pretty cool. And so you are volunteers. So are you ever looking for other volunteers? And if so, what kind of work is out there for them to help you do?
Oh my God, we're always looking for volunteers.
Yeah.
So what they could do is go on the Toys for Tots site, the Lancaster County. And what happens is we're looking for volunteers for prior before distribution week, which is when, as Art was saying, that we get toys coming into the warehouse. We needed to sort them by ages and by genders. And then what happens, we had to pack those toys into boxes. And then during distribution week, we need people to help check in people, to actually help people shop. So what it's like is when the people get their letter letting them know what date and time they need to be at the old Sears Auto Center at Park City, they will come in, give it a card. Then the person that's volunteering will actually walk with them with a cart, shopping cart. And then they get a paper, says the ages of the kids and the genders, and they go down to tables and help the parents pick out toys. So, and then of course we carry the toys out to the Coronet. So it is a great opportunity for volunteers to help through before distribution and during distribution and even after distribution. So.
Yeah.
And what are the
We're dealing
volunteers?
with-
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. We're dealing with over 600 locations that we're getting toys in through Lancaster County. And I believe that Lancaster County is the #1 Toys for Tots
Yes.
for the state. Is what we sold the last 2 or 3 years.
Last 3 years,
Last
actually
3 years.
been noticed through the United States Marine Corps that Toys for Tots of Lancaster County is the #1
Wow, nice
for
humble
the
brag. I
PA
like
area.
it.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's congratulations. That's amazing. And it's nice to hear that that's local, and you guys are doing so much. Very cool. I like that.
It's really
what-
helpful with the volunteers. The volunteers is what helps us out a lot. Because it's a big job and a big operation to do. And the volunteers to come in on their time off and there's people that constantly are just in the warehouse helping out or doing things for the association to help them.
Mhm.
So that's what makes us run well.
Exactly.
And do the volunteers say anything about what the experience is like for them?
They do. Myra, who handles our warehouse, she always tells us how families will come and, a group will come and help out and then saying, oh my God, I got to do this again. Can I bring my friend? Can I bring a family member? They always want to bring more people. And of course, we're never going to say no. There's always a lot of things to do. So yeah, we always have repeat all the time and more new people coming aboard every year.
Yeah, I think it's funny with the kids of course, some of these volunteers bring their kids. So, it's like a wonderland when they come
Yeah.
in and see all the piles of toys everywhere. The kids are like, yes.
And it's so fun too, because we look at toys and and see toys that was back in our generation and it's coming back again. It's like, oh my God, remember this?
Rock'em Sock'em Robot.
Yeah.
I could see that being your favorite for sure.
Oh, yeah, we're all a kid at heart, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, if people don't maybe have the time to volunteer, maybe they don't have time to run out and buy gifts, do you take donations, like monetary donations?
Absolutely, we do. They can actually, drop by if they wanted to donate, or they can actually mail it to us. We actually have the United States Marine Corps Toys for Tots for Lancaster County, and it's P.O. Box 227, Columbia, PA 17512.
And as you mentioned, this is kind of a Marine Corps thing. How did it all get started?
Nope,
I'm
she got it.
me?
There she go. We both came
I'm
prepared
like,
for
we
that.
came prepared. Well, it started, oh my God, so long ago in 1947 with Marine Corps Reserve Major Bill Hendricks. Him and his wife, Diane, who were the real inspiration of Toys for Tots. They had like a few handcrafted dolls, and they asked Bill, his wife asked Bill to deliver to agencies to support children in need. And then from there on, they realized there wasn't really any organizations that did that. So they actually created the Toys for Tots. And then from there, it just accumulated throughout the United States of helping everybody and children that ever need for Christmas, because their motto was they didn't want any children to go without having a toy for Christmas time.
I love that. I love those. I love seeing the stark Marine picture next to the toys. Like, it's just a very, that whole image is just a pretty cool thing.
The bear's my favorite, and that's the best uniforms, the blues there.
Yeah.
Sorry,
That's all right.
it's one of our posters. Talk about them, but
Oh,
you can
what's
see that.
Santa? Yeah, we have to describe it.
Yeah.
Let's see. It's Santa with a bunch of toys and a Marine uniform in the background. That's nice.
Mhm.
That's nice. Lieutenant White, what is your goal? Your overall goal? Because I know you say more officers and more departments are getting involved. What would you like to see happen?
I would like to see it spread. The other counties doing the same thing we are doing with our police departments. That's really what my goal is. It started out with me just doing the surrounding agencies of the chief of polices and the officers that I knew. And then next thing I know, I kept going further out and around. And then next thing you know, I have 98% of the county. I have 98% of the county. One of those 1% is Lancaster City. They have their own Toys for Tots program there. So that's not really going to count for me, but I mean, as long as the toys come and get to the correct hands, that's fine. But as police departments, we got 98% of the county right now. I'm working on the last 1% that I need to do, and we'll be good. So I just would like to see it works so well when the officers have the community service and they get to meet, everybody in the community on a good note versus, coming there to take a report for something.
Yeah, I was
Like
going
I
to ask you
said-
about, I was going to ask you about that side of things, about how that connection is so important to be in the community and show that you guys just aren't these, stiff, scary people trying to get
Right.
a ticket, Talk about
Or
that.
being at the donut shop, right?
Right.
Yeah.
He likes
'Cause I mean-
donuts. I know he likes
Yeah,
donuts.
yeah, we go to Dunkin' Donuts and Turkey Hills all the time, but to go over to the dinner shop and
There's a reason it's a stereotype.
Right.
But yeah, so that's my goal. I mean, really to have the police interact, and a lot of police officers are Marines, so when you have those guys working, it's just a wonderful thing. They're very passionate about the program, very, very passionate about the program. I have not had one. Sometimes we get assigned stuff by the chief and you're like, oh goodness, but I have not had one officer in all this time complain about it. And actually some of them, they do it for while they're at work for the police department, and then they also go and do other volunteer stops and pick up toys from other places that need picking up. They also do it also when they're off duty. So it's it really has grown to be a good thing for the community service and with the police departments.
I love that. Deb, what do you want to see happen? What is your goal, or what do you want to see in the next few years happen with your organization?
I don't want to see one child go without having a toy for Christmas time, because Christmas, you're very blessed, you're very thankful, and just to make sure that every kid that we're able to help throughout Lancaster County. So it's very important. This organization has grown for the last couple of years, and looking forward for more future of helping family.
You got a guy blowing leaves near us.
Sorry.
That's okay. It's the age of Zoom. I have a cat meowing at the door, so it's what it is. And Deb, one of you mentioned, I think it actually was the lieutenant, about families, they can register online for some of these events.
Yeah.
But how do they also register to be a family that you deliver to?
So we also deal with organizations, different organizations that will actually send us emails. So we deal with a lot of churches, nonprofit organizations, and they'll let us know that they have families that will need toys, and they supply us, the ages and the genders of the children. But one thing I would say is right now we are very at the critical stage, because here we are, who never thought would be at almost the end of October here. November, beginning of November is just next week. And right now, when I looked on the site for people to sign up as families, we are very low. And I'm really scared that people are not getting on our site to sign up, because our deadline is going to be by November 3rd that will actually shut down the site. And the reason for that is we have to get letters out to the family, letting them know the dates and times. We have to mail everything out, and everybody knows mail is really taking a little bit longer than usual. So, we hate to do that, but we have to. So it's very critical that people spread the word and let them know to go on to our Lancaster-pa.toysfortots.org to register before it's too late. I do get some people afterwards when we're closed down, but it's really hard because we need them to get on now before we close it down on November 3rd.
Is there anything that we haven't already covered that you two feels important to get out there?
No, other than that,
toys.
we just, we appreciate to all the individuals, businesses, companies, churches, schools support our program year after year. The goal is not to leave no child behind for Christmas. And we are so blessed and grateful for everyone that has been consistently helping us, and new people that have been helping us year after year. We wouldn't be able to be Toys for Tots if it wasn't for the community.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you have to say. I agree. That's your wrap up.
I don't got much to say. It's cold.
It's cold.
I'm just joking. I'm joking.
Um, do both of you plan to keep doing this for many years to come? Are you going to pass the torch, or what's the plan?
Well, at some point when I retire, I have to pass the torch because it has to be an active police officer, at least on our end, that is in charge of the situation. So I'm at least be in for at least another 5 years. So, but I will also volunteer afterwards as a regular volunteer. We do have on at least my volunteer list, I have fathers of police officers, I have retired police officers, I have people, organizations that interact with the police departments, like security companies. Those are my volunteers. So when it's time for me to retire, I'm going to go over to that volunteer list and let an active police officer handle it. So I just get my boxes and I get going and pull out toys and bring them over, and be a good day for me. And then go home and put my feet up and watch TV.
So you're kind of like the local Santa Claus.
Sure.
Yeah, and he's working on the beard right now.
That's right. I'm trying to
too.
get it out, man.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so and there's anything else either one of you want to add, or maybe give us the places where we can find out more information again?
Yep. So the site again is lancaster-pa.toysfortots.org, and they can go on there and they can donate a toy. They can actually mail out a check if they want to do a monetary donation to the U.S. Marine Corps Toys for Tots, Lancaster County, P.O. Box 227, Columbia, PA 17512.
Sounds
There you
good.
go.
All right. We've been talking about Toys or Tots with Lieutenant Art White with the Millersville University Police Department, and Deb Stevens, who's the Vice President of Operations for the Lancaster County Toys for Tots. Thank you both for joining us today. Lots of great information, and really kudos to how far you guys have come and made this into such an amazing local operation.
Oh,
Thank you,
thank you for
Jenna.
having us. We appreciate it.
All right. Good luck and happy holidays.
Yeah.
You too.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Bye.